bullets don't work. Water slows them so violently that a normal round loses all its speed in less than a meter. Physics is clear. Guns cannot function underwater. And yet, this thing exists. A rifle capable of firing at distances up to 30 meters while fully submerged, with projectiles that seem to break the laws of physics. Today we're uncovering how an impossible weapon became real. This rifle is called the APS. Built by the Soviet Union during the Cold War, it was designed for an almost impossible mission, giving underwater soldiers real firepower during submerged combat. But here's the paradox. A regular firearm underwater is practically useless, and yet the APS works, and it works surprisingly well. So how did Soviet engineers achieve what physics seemed to forbid? To understand this miracle of engineering, we need to see why every other weapon fails. And the explanation is pure physics. When a bullet enters water, it faces 800 times more density than air, massive drag force, instant loss of velocity, turbulence that destroys its stability. A standard rifle round becomes useless after less than 1 meter. Even powerful rifles like an AK or an M4 suffer the same fate. More powder won't help. More caliber won't help. The nature of water simply kills the bullet. So, how do you shoot through water? The answer is one of the smartest ideas in military engineering. Imagine a bullet that doesn't fight the water at all. Imagine it traveling inside a bubble of gas where almost no drag exists, as if the water around it simply disappeared. That is supercavitation, a gas cavity that forms around an object moving extremely fast underwater, allowing it to travel with shockingly low resistance. The same principle powers supercavitating torpedoes at 400 kilometers per hour, ultra-fast underwater projectiles, experimental future weapons. And it's exactly what Soviet engineers used to build their underwater rifle. The APS, Автомат Podvodny Specjalny, is long, strange, quiet, and unlike any other rifle ever made. At first glance, it doesn't even look modern. It's heavy, it's simple. Some might even call it primitive. But every part of its design exists for a reason. The APS fires needle-shaped projectiles, long, thin darts instead of normal bullets. No rounded tips, no traditional aerodynamics. These needles were created with one purpose: to trigger supercavitation from the very first millisecond. As the dart moves forward, it cuts through water so efficiently that it creates a gas bubble around itself. And inside that bubble, the projectile moves freely. No drag, no turbulence, no sudden slowdown. The APS performs at distances that seem absurd for underwater combat. 0 to 10 meters, deadly accurate 10 to 20 meters. Still effective up to 30 meters. Maximum range, weak compared to land rifles, but incredible underwater. For combat divers, this was a revolution. Before the APS, underwater warfare meant slow harpoons, knives, close quarters ambushes. The APS changed everything. For the first time, a soldier could engage at distance while submerged and keep a tactical advantage underwater. But like every weapon built against the rules of physics, the APS comes with unexpected consequences. 1. On the surface, it's a disaster. Once the rifle leaves the water, supercavitation disappears. The needles become unstable, accuracy collapses, effective range drops drastically. 2. Extremely short service life water is brutally destructive. The APS wears out quickly, corrodes, loses pressure, must be replaced frequently. 3. Useless outside its niche. This weapon works only for specialized underwater missions. On land, even a cheap pistol outperforms it. That makes the APS a strange object, a brilliant weapon that's almost useless anywhere else. Even with its limitations, the APS opened the door to a new era of underwater warfare. It led to modern super-cavitating ammunition research into underwater drones, hybrid air-to-water projectile concepts, futuristic amphibious weapon prototypes. Today, the United States, Russia, and China are studying weapons capable of maintaining stability in both air and water. It all began with a rifle that many engineers thought was insane. And like every great leap in military engineering, sometimes the world advances because someone builds something that shouldn't work. The APS isn't perfect. It isn't practical outside its niche. It isn't even reliable for long-term use. But it stands as one of the most creative achievements in Cold War engineering. Where physics said no, Soviet designers said, let's try something else. And they succeeded. If this rifle surprised you, wait until you see what comes next. On this channel, we explore weapons, machines, and military technologies that break every rule. Tanks that work better when they fail. Bullets that become more accurate over distance. Missiles that turn 180 degrees mid-air. And dozens of real engineering paradoxes. Subscribe if you want to discover the weapons that shouldn't exist, but do.